because every 2 years they would change a little bit how it looked. But the 67 Cadillac looked exactly like the 68 Cadillac, except they had a little light on the back. The 65 Cadillac looked exactly like the 66. That's a beautiful car. Exactly. The 63 and the 64 looked very close, right? But even in those days, they were still making them kind of good. But in recent years, they started making them where you could hit that Cadillac and knock a hole in it, right? You hear the 49 Cadillac, because I had a 49 Cadillac, you know, where you have old stuff just to be having around. That thing was so heavy, and if you hit the fender, you would break your hand, all kind of stuff like that. They was just well built, big, planned obsolescence. Planned obsolescence is what ruined the U.S. car auto industry. They shot themselves in the head. They got everybody else. They started buying a few people. First Toyota I saw was 19. Sister had one, and it was 68 or 69 Toyota. And that's what we thought about Toyota, like a toy. This was a toy, you know. But it lasted a long time. And we drove them big Cadillacs and everything. It used up gas. It didn't last no time. After a while, you had to buy one every 2 years because it would break down. In 1970, they changed from 50,000 miles or 5 years warranty on the moving parts to 1 year and 12,000 miles. That's in 1970. What does that mean? They're making junk, planned obsolescence. And guess what? That old saying, so goes General Motors, so goes America. It's true. General Motors is gone, and so is America. And they've done it to themselves. Every war, every fitna they had, they did it to themselves. Everything happened to America. Nobody came and did it. We're going to do this to you because you big and strong. They said, boss man, I'm going to go the other way because I can't handle you right now. So he pulled out his own gun, just like we told him, Mr. Officer, would you pull out your gun? Yes. And now shoot yourself in the head. That's what psychological guerrilla warfare is. That's the way we did them. Would you please pull out your gun? Sure, I pull it out. Now put it up to your head and pull the trigger. Tell the truth. That's what's happened in U.S. policy. There ain't nothing we can do about it. It's done already happened. Humpty Dumpty said, you can't fix it. It's too big. It's done collapsed. That's a done deal. What we want to do is try to catch the world and fix it. Let me speed up. Tafweed and Rida. We put all of this in Allah's hands and we're happy with whatever we get. That's the way it is. Greatest trap in U.S. history. Three great programs of resistance. Okay, we don't want to go overboard. But a few things, I'll just read the title of. They have survive, evade, and escape. But now it's survive, evade, and resist. Not escape, resist. That's the resistance movement. They used to hand out a book to all the pilots and everything. If anything happened, your plane crashed. It was like a Boy Scout manual. If you crash somewhere behind enemy lines, what do you have to do? In those days, it said survive, evade, and escape. And now it's survive, evade, and resist. That's the part we like, resistance. And it had how to make a tent out in the woods, how to take your parachute and what have you, get thread out of it and how to fish. You know what I mean? That stuff was good. I used to travel with that book, and it used to help me when I would, everywhere I was. They gave it to me when I was in Algeria. You know, survive, evade, and resist. That's what the longevity is. We have survived. We have evaded every trap. Y'all have seen just only 1 million traps, but there's been a zillion. We've evaded them. We've evaded cutie pies, money, everything. And they think they can read you. I know anyway, it's too much. But you evade all the dumb stuff. And not because of yourself, but a lot of times because of the Islamic rules. See, evading women in Jahiliyyah is not part of the script. You don't evade them, you hook up with them and you do all that stuff. But when you come into Islam, you evade, because you're not married. And our old boss man, Baba Kloon, they use their own kids a lot of times as a trap. Had one of the nicest looking young ladies, just the kind you like to look at. And when they would come in, I'd have a big smile on my face. So they said, okay, we'll have her sit around. They'd have put a sanitary napkin and throwing it out there to know that they're beyond up to menstrual stuff, but they throw it right by the door I go in. And I couldn't do nothing with anybody because it's against the rules. Right? And they misinterpret, and Ibn Kloon, them, all of them being on it. They misinterpret a big smile and friendliness with, hey, they're dummies. They're dummies. They don't realize that there are rules and you have to follow it. They think niggas don't follow the rules. That's their first problem. They think niggas don't follow the rules, especially with girls. Because girls are the biggest trap. Girls are the biggest trap for them. If I read in the Quran girls is a big trap, and then I see in Jahiliyyah girls is a big trap, right? So girls is a big trap. So you avoid the trap. That's a trap, so let me stick my head in that trap. And they keep on doing it because they're stupid. They think everybody, like Abdul Malik them, thinks everybody is like them. They like girls and they don't avoid no girl trap. They jump right in it. Because, that's what they do. And then they think you're going to jump in with them. Absolutely not. So sorry. Let me see. I have, as usual, not went off track, but anyway. Phantom resistance. Boy, look at here. I'm going to try to explain phantom, but I'll just be surface. Phantom, phantom with the opera, phantom, you can't see. Resistance that's there and it's happening, but you can't pick it up because your pea brain and your historical vision is taught to see certain things. And you can't see it. That's what happened. So phantom resistance. Another mirage resistance. Like the guy out in the desert and he's there playing with the sand and trying to drink it because it's a mirage, right? Now think if you design a plan based on mirage resistance, what that fool is looking at and that fool is thinking he's looking at, you design a policy based on mirage resistance. It's almost free resistance because what he see don't exist. But he's sure that's what he sees. You could train the idiot. He's an idiot. I don't want to talk about people like they're not competent, but You ever see somebody when they going down, they start beating their wife, beating their kid, they start going crazy, right? That's what boss man is doing. That's what boss man is doing right now. We have something to do with that. Yeah, he wanted to mess with us, okay, go ahead. Here we are. I can't stick my feet up here, but I'm comfortable. Let's see you comfortable, boss man. You was talking all that talk. You like to mess with people. Keep on messing with me and see what happens. You think you got it bad now? Boss, I'm talking to boss man everywhere. Boss man, you keep messing with the brother and see what happens. We here, we've outlasted Denmark, VZ, all other people, and we're gonna look like we're gonna be here for a while. Look like the big boss wants us here, and you ain't the big boss. And you look like a fool. And all of the fools that are with you, they really look, I just don't want to say it. Before your own eyes. And they be looking at it. Okay, I'll speed up a little bit. The greatest, most comprehensive, yes, big struggle. Okay, da-da-da-da. We'll put it in the flyer. Are there any questions or comments about anything we said? Because, any questions, any comments?
They were disputing reports that they were giving out those like safety, those safe smoker kits, crack pipes in. So like they were putting crack pipes in the safe smoker kits, kind of get people off of smoking and stuff. And so the White House is coming out disputing that stuff they do, you know.
Say that again. They was.
That's the news on Fox News 5 out in it's actually from the West Coast, San Diego, saying that the White House disputes reports of federal funds for crack pipes. You know, it's the stuff you see in the news.
Right. Well, boss man bought the crack here, but look, boss man gonna be smoking the crack himself in a minute, because he can only stand so much. No, I'm talking about front boss man. The boss man sitting right there in a chair. He's gonna be smoking crack or shooting crank. That's where they're headed. Technically, they don't need to do that. They're messing up bad enough. They're acting like they're on crack now.
So do we call America a failed state?
Yes, sir, 100%. But it's headed to a bigger failure. See, the people won't know it until it just, all the stuff happening now, it's a failed state. But it won't fail until fires are burning and cars are wrecking and, visibly everything is just falling apart in front of them. It is falling apart now. But to them, that's not a failed state yet. Okay. Any more comments? Okay. So everybody get ready for a new hero approach. We're gonna tell our story. That's what it is. We're gonna tell our story. We're gonna tell it to the people the way we have lived it. I mean, we're started already, but we're gonna really get into it. And that's the time we're living in. Okay, if there's no more questions and no more comments, then nakula kaulihada wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum.